Right, so this is going to be a quick video on this demo board. It's sort of a classic early 90s alarm system. So we've got a Bentley Symphony 2 from 1991. It's a metal panel. See, the cover is cream and the back is grey. It's very, very strong and very, very secure. Would have been a very expensive and high grade panel back in the day. Got a CQR metal clad single push PA button. Got a Raycor guard or Apollo D. One of my favourite PIRs. A proper 90s classic. There's another one. Now the two IR772s. Also some of my favourites. Anyway, back to this. I've got a polypropylene CQR Type H. It's white. I'll show you the insides. This has got wall tamper, but not cover tamper, so I can open it up and show you. I thought it was easier that way. So we've got a Securitech SAB, Carter Super 6, and a wall tamper switch. This is sort of like a classic late 80s, early 90s setup in one of these boxes. Sort of before, you know, strobes became more expensive and all that. Because back in the 80s and all that, bells were cheaper than sirens, but sirens were a new thing and were quite expensive. But nowadays, bells are more expensive and sirens are cheaper, so it's quite common to sort of have a SAB bell and a tamper switch, or sometimes just a bell and a tamper. It depended up to, it's sort of, you know, it was up to the installer what they had inside really. So we're going to do a PA test first by pressing the PA button. And when you reset the PA button, it all silences, which is quite unusual for a coded panel. It's quite common for that to happen with a key switch panel like an ADE Logic 4, but yeah, as is still quite an old panel, it's not as advanced. So that was the PA button, we know that works. Now I'm going to set the system. It's got a 30-second entry and exit delay because there's no manual on this. There's no manual for this online, so I can't really do a lot with it. So I'll just set the system by entering the code and then. Right, the alarm is now set, and I'm going to trigger the PIR. Right, so that was it going off. It's a very, very loud bell. It is very, very loud. It's probably the loudest bell I have. And yeah, let's reset the panel. To reset the panel, you have to enter the engineer's code as well. So you have to go into engineer's menu and then go out again to reset the panel. So it's quite good if you're on a maintenance contract. So, you know, if the alarms will set off, then you could get an engineer reset and all that. So yeah, there's not really much else to show, but this is a very classic early 90s setup, as I've said. But yeah, this is my favourite alarm panel, and that's my favourite PA button, my favourite PIR, my favourite bell box. So yeah, I'll probably keep it as a demo board for a while. I don't know really, but I'll probably put that up on the wall there somewhere so I can play around with it whenever I want really. But for now, that's it really. So what I'll do is I'll do another bell tamper and I'll leave it ringing for a bit and take the cover off and all that, so you can get a good shot of the bell ringing. As it's a very satisfying sound. It isn't really deep or anything. It's quite a light sound. You know, it's really sharp and high pitched, and it isn't really that deep or anything. So good thing is when you just power it up on a battery, the tamper switch doesn't actually set it off. But once it's connected to a panel, if I just do the tamper. So you had a good sound of the bell there. So yeah, thank you for watching. See you in the next one.